Did you know that slavery still exists in the 21st century? It's a shocking reality, a wake-up call that jars us out of our comfortable lives. It's a global issue, a silent epidemic that affects millions of individuals. Imagine being stripped of your rights, your freedom, your dignity, forced to labor under inhumane conditions without any hope of escape. This is the bitter truth of modern-day slavery. It's not confined to the pages of history or the distant corners of the world. It's right here, right now, in myriad forms that are as varied as they are vile. Forced labor, where individuals are coerced into work through the use of violence or intimidation. Debt bondage, where people are forced to work to repay debts that they never even agreed to. Human trafficking, where individuals, often children, are exploited for labor and sex. Yes, slavery didn't end in the 19th century. It simply took on new, insidious forms. Let's delve into the grim reality of modern-day slavery with some real-life examples. Consider the heartbreaking tale of a young boy named Raj, hailing from an impoverished village in Asia. At just 9 years old, Raj was sent to work in a sweatshop, producing garments for a global brand. His tiny hands, more accustomed to holding school books, were soon handling heavy machinery and toxic dyes. He labored for 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, in a factory where the heat was unbearable and safety measures were non-existent. His childhood dreams of becoming a teacher were traded for a life of servitude and exploitation, all for the equivalent of less than $1 per day. This, my friends, is a gross violation of human rights, a clear example of modern-day slavery. Now, let's shift our focus to Europe. Meet Anna, a young woman from Eastern Europe who was promised a lucrative job in hospitality. However, upon arrival, she was forced into sex trafficking, her passport confiscated, her freedom stolen. She was treated as a commodity, her dignity and human rights trampled upon. She was trapped in a horrifying cycle of abuse and exploitation that she had no means to escape. Anna's story is a chilling testament to the fact that modern-day slavery is not confined to any particular region or industry. It lurks in the dark corners of our societies, often masked under the guise of legitimate business. These stories are not anomalies. They are representative of the millions of people worldwide who are victims of modern-day slavery. They are the silent screams for help, muffled by the noise of our bustling world. They are the faces behind the products we consume, the services we avail, often without a second thought. These stories are a stark reminder of the human rights abuses happening under our noses. They underscore the urgent need for education on human rights and the realities of modern-day slavery. And they call us to rise, to take action, to ensure that every individual, regardless of their circumstances, has the freedom and dignity that they rightfully deserve. So why does modern-day slavery persist? This is a question that requires us to delve deep into the underlying causes. At the root, we find poverty. It's a vicious cycle where people with limited resources are often exploited, leading to further impoverishment. Next, let's look at the lack of education. Education empowers individuals, but sadly, not everyone has access to it. Many are left unaware of their rights, making them easy targets for exploitation. Weak law enforcement also plays a significant role. Without stringent laws and their enforcement, exploiters often operate with impunity. And then there's us, the consumers. Our relentless demand for cheap products and services fuels this exploitative system. The lower the price, the higher the chances that someone somewhere is paying the price for it in the form of forced labor. We are all part of the problem, but we can also be part of the solution. It's time to reflect on our role and take steps towards change. It's time we all take a stand against modern-day slavery. Education is the cornerstone of this fight. By understanding the issues, we can better equip ourselves to challenge these injustices. Start by educating yourself. Dive into articles, books, documentaries, and online resources that shed light on this grim reality. But don't stop there. Share your newfound knowledge with your peers, your family, your community. Ignite conversations, trigger debates, and inspire action. There are plenty of organizations working tirelessly to combat modern-day slavery. They need your support. Consider donating, volunteering, or even just spreading the word about their work. Advocate for stronger laws. Reach out to your local representatives and demand more stringent regulations and protections for vulnerable workers. Your consumer choices matter too. Support businesses that promote fair labor practices and reject those that don't. Together, we can make a difference. Stand up for human rights, fight against modern-day slavery. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and share this content.